Oh, that's my son. And that's my timetable. I want to see my son. No song. Oh, okay, he's reading a book lah. Okay, you all can watch while I continue setting up. Yes, my son is called Josiah. Okay, so okay, that's all I'm showing you. Okay, back to Zoom. Okay, now parallelograms. Let's start with some quick definitions. The opposite sides are, what do you think? Equal lah. Opposite sides of a parallelogram, they are equal to each other. So by opposite, we mean top, bottom, as well as left, right. So opposite sides are equal. Oh, sorry, the first one, sorry. First one is not equal, it's parallel. Okay, opposite sides are parallel to each other and they are equal in length. So AB has the same distance, has the same length as DC. Okay, question. Is it wrong to write AB equals to CD? Is there anything wrong if we say that AB equals to CD? Nothing wrong. You can write CD. But I prefer to write BC. I like to think about directions also. Okay, so BC will be the same as AD. Next, the opposite interior angles. Opposite interior angles are equal. You see the writing not very good. Equal. So where are the interior opposite angles? So for example, this angle in green will be equal to this angle. You can see it for yourself, right? You can see that they are the same size. You can even prove it if you want to. So angle ABC will be the same as angle ADC. BCD, BAD. Okay. So far simple. Now the diagonals. Diagonals from one point to the other point. One point to the opposite point. So we've got a red diagonal and a blue diagonal. They bisect. They bisect each other. Okay, make a note. What does bisect mean? Cut into two equal parts. Okay, right now this note over here. Bisect means to cut into two equal parts. Next, we can conclude that AO will be equal to OC, whereas BO and OD are equal. Okay, now, next, we have area of a parallelogram. I hope you have already gone online to try how to derive the area of a parallelogram. So if you haven't, I'm not going to go to the website to show you now. Do it at your own time at home. Basically, okay, look up. When you have a parallelogram on the left-hand side, it is made of a green color triangle and a beige trapezium. Basically, I'm just cutting the parallelogram into two parts. Now these two parts, they are not equal. The way I cut it is perpendicular to the base. I choose a base. Sounds like a triangle, right? Base. Triangle has 3 different bases with 3 different perpendicular heights. In our parallelogram, we can have either side. The 4 sides of the parallelogram, all of them can be the base. Now, if I choose the horizontal as the base, this is my perpendicular height. Same thing. Once you decide where the base is, the opposite point that is not being used. In this case, we have 2 points. We have 1 point over here, we've got 1 point over here. You can choose any one of them. Choose the point that is not used. Drop a perpendicular down, you will get your perpendicular height. Okay, even if you chose this point over here, drop a perpendicular down, this will be your perpendicular height. And can you see that these 2 heights are the same? So either one will do. Drop it down to the base. Okay, but that's not the focus of this portion or the derivation of the area. So what I want you to do is to draw a perpendicular line down to the horizontal line. And we're going to shift this triangle over here. As you shift it to the right hand side, shift, you end up with a rectangle. So the area of a parallelogram is actually the same of a corresponding rectangle. As long as you can transform your parallelogram into a rectangle, you can find the area of the parallelogram, because all of us know how to find the area of a rectangle. Rectangle, length times breadth. Look at this, length and breadth. We can find this area of this rectangle. Let us compare this shape with our original parallelogram. Watch carefully. The base of the rectangle, same distance over here, corresponds to this distance of the parallelogram. Can you see that? Can you see the beige trapezium? They have the same longest side. And a parallelogram, being a parallelogram, has the same opposite length. All these 4 blue arrows, they have the same length. Next, where is my perpendicular height for my rectangle? This is the perpendicular height for the rectangle. We know that you need to multiply the blue and the red together to get the area. Where did this red height came from? Where did it come from? It came from here. And what is this the same as? It is the same as the perpendicular height of the parallelogram once you have identified the base. In summary, to find the area of a parallelogram, it is simply the same area as the corresponding rectangle, which is the base multiplied by the perpendicular height. Base times perpendicular height. That will give us the area of the parallelogram. The challenge is almost always to find the perpendicular height. So with practice, we can do better. Base is usually easy to see. It is the perpendicular height that we have some problems with. So let's start with exercise 1. Find the area of each parallelogram. A parallelogram has 4 sides. Any one of them can be the base. But this being a basic question, they only give you just enough information to solve it. Which do you think is going to be the base in this case? Yeah, you only have one option, right? They only have one side given to you. That is a value of 6. The base is 6. Okay? Feel free to turn your paper, to turn your iPad. Yeah, okay, go. Turn your paper, turn your iPad until you're comfortable with the base being horizontal. Otherwise, after some point in time, you should be very used to it already. You don't have to turn it anymore. So with that being the base, I need to find the perpendicular height. Same as the triangle. You reach over to the point that is not used. In the triangle, there was one point that is not used once you have a base. In our parallelogram, we have 2 points that are not used. We have our point S, we have our point P. any one of them will work. What you need to do now, okay, after you rotate, because generally we like the base to be horizontal, rotate your paper such that the base, okay, when I rotate my tablet, it doesn't show on the screen, obviously. You can rotate it yourself. Rotate until your QR is horizontal. Then take your set square, place one edge on the base, slide until you either reach point S or point P. Or in fact, anywhere in between will also work. The distance formed will be your perpendicular height. So this 9 will be our perpendicular height. Okay, 9 will be our perpendicular height when QR is our base. Okay, so our area, very simple. Area will be 6 times 9. That's it, 54. Unit of length, cm, square centimeters. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? Glenn, following? Now, I want you to, on your own paper, pretend that PQ is the base. If PQ is the base, can you draw a perpendicular height? Okay, let PQ to be the base. Use a pencil, whatever other color, doesn't matter. Just as a practice. If PQ is the base, where is the corresponding perpendicular height? Okay, done? Okay, where's the corresponding perpendicular height? Anybody need more time? Okay, so we have this as the perpendicular height, this dotted line. Is that the only answer? No. We have this as our perpendicular height. That is if the base is PQ. And we have everything else in between. These are all the same. Okay, pardon the dotted line. Doesn't really look dotted because of the sensitivity. Okay, all these same. Of course, we expect a rectangle to have a constant breadth. That's what's happening over here. Okay. I'm going to erase this so that you don't get confused. Now, next one. We've got a parallelogram that looks like this. We've got heights. We've got different dimensions given to you. In this case, what is your base? You have 4 options, right? But what is the only option that they are giving you? X. That is the only distance on the shape that they are giving to you. So the base will be X. If the base is X, rotate your paper until the base is horizontal. If you need to, then extend both sides, set square, come out, put a straight edge on the base, the other end, until you touch either W or X or anywhere in between. And you will find that this is our perpendicular height, when this is our base. Okay, so it looks rotated because I rotated my paper, my laptop. So what it will look like to you is this: perpendicular, height, and base. With that, you can find the area again. Area. And of course, we're going to throw in some algebra here and there. Base times perpendicular height, 3x plus 4. And we can go ahead and expand. So 3x squared, next, plus 4x. And this will be in square centimeters. Okay, so actually that's all that there is to a parallelogram, but we're gonna have something similar to triangles. We'll see that in part B. Now here we have the dx and dy. They are the altitudes. Okay, let's just call them the perpendicular heights. Perpendicular heights of a parallelogram ABCD. Okay, of course, different perpendicular height corresponding to different base. I give you like 10 seconds to determine dx. Okay, dx. If this is the perpendicular height, where's the base? Can I see the base? If dx is the perpendicular height, where's the base? AB, correct. And just humor me. AB has the same distance as DC, correct. Okay, now if this is my perpendicular height, where's the base? Where's the base? DA. Okay, and DA has the same length as BC. I like to say BC instead of the other way around. So area of this parallelogram, we have some distances that we can use. AB being 6 cm, AD 8 cm, dx 12 cm. With all this information, what will you choose as the base to find the area? What will you choose as the base? Is AD useful? AD is not useful because you don't have the corresponding perpendicular height. So the area will be base of 6 multiplied by corresponding perpendicular height 12. We have 72 square centimeters. The area of this parallelogram is 72 square centimeters. I haven't used my 8 cm yet. And guess what? In part B asks you to find the length of BY. So all these not useful already. I want to find this distance. Knowing that this is 8 cm. Can you see this is the same type of the question as the triangle question? Same, right? You found the area. After that, you're asked to find the perpendicular height using the same area because the shape didn't change. It is still the same parallelogram. So length of BY will be related to our base of 8 cm, related to the area. We're going to form an equation now. The equation is BY multiplied by 8 equals to 72. I am just using a different base and its corresponding perpendicular height. Okay, so to get the answer, we are going to divide by 8 on both sides, resulting in BY equals to 72 over 8, which is 9? 9, right? Oh yes, 9 cm. Okay, that's it. Let's see how much more there is. Wow. 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 So many. Okay, never mind. Let's just go through them. Exercise 3. Parallelogram. SR12, PS6. N is on the line PS produced. PS produced. Can you visualize what is happening? PS produced. This is the produced part. Or extended. Remember earlier on we said extended. So produced, extended, they just mean the same thing. You just extend it by yourself. What else did they say? Pn is perpendicular to Rn. Okay, that tells us about perpendicular height. Sm has a distance of 5. S to M, this is 5. Find the length of Rn. Without me doing for you, can you think about the method? The method to find Rn. Okay? What do you think you need to find first? Alright, what can we find over here? Perimeter is useless. What could be useful? Area of the parallelogram. Once you get the area, of course, using 12 and 5. Area equals to the base, 12 times 5, which is 60 square meters. Once I have the area, I can start to find our unknown distance NR using the base of PS. You see that if PS is the base, then Rn or NR is our perpendicular height. So form the equation. NR times of 6 equals to 60. This is forming equation. I am using a different base with its corresponding perpendicular height. So NR must be 10 meters. NR, Rn, same. Since the question asks for Rn, or I should put on as Rn. So what you learn in the triangle portion, if you learned it well, this is not a problem to you. The only difference is learning the formula for area of a parallelogram. And this is how maths works in our Singapore education system. You are expected to keep on building from what you have learned. So I'll just repeat what I said earlier in the year. If you do not learn it well, if you don't learn your basics well, you're going to have a harder and harder time building upon your current knowledge. If your current knowledge is weak, your future topics will not be strong. You need always for your foundation to be strong. So if you know which portions, which topics you're weak in, go back there and revise. Next, exercise 4, parallelogram. This time they tell you the area, 72 square centimeters. The perimeter is 36. Given that DE is 9, okay, D to E, 9 cm. Find the length of AB. So what has our 9 cm got to do with AB and got to do with either the area or the perimeter? Can you filter out non-essential information? Is the area essential in this case? Yes, it is. Is the perimeter essential in this case? Is the perimeter essential? At this point in time, no, we don't need the perimeter at all, because I can form an equation with 72, 9, and the unknown. So let's form it. Base times perpendicular height. AB times the perpendicular height of 9 gives me 72. So that tells me that AB has a value of 8 cm. Simply by using the area. Okay, so the base is decided. It is 8 cm. Well, if the bottom is 8 cm, being a parallelogram, the opposite side must also be 8 cm. Now they ask us to find BC. This is the next unknown. If I have two opposite lengths of 8 cm each, and they tell us the perimeter is 36, that allows me to find the length already, or the distance BC. Okay, so BC has the same length as AD. They are the same. So this is how I'm going to write it. 2 times of BC. Why 2 times? Because AD same as BC. We're going to add them up. It's the same as adding BC to itself. 2 of them plus 2 of the 8 cm is supposed to give me how much? 36 cm. This is forming equation using the perimeter. So you might be doing mental sums already. Sure, go ahead. Or you can do it step by step. You can write 2BC like this. You can draw brackets around BC if you want to also. So 2BC will now be equal to 36 minus 16, 20. Okay, we subtract 16 on both sides. And now BC, we will need to divide by 2 to give us 10 cm. Okay. So 10 cm, 10 cm. What do you think of the scale of this diagram? Do you think it's drawn very well? Do you think the diagram is drawn very well? Look at the distances. Look at the distances. Why does the 8 cm look like it's longer than 10 cm? Yes? Oh, really? That's even worse, right? So I need you all to be sensitive for these kind of things. One thing is that it can help you check your answers. Okay? They didn't say the diagram is drawn to scale. If they didn't, then yeah, okay, they can draw it whichever way they want, as long as it kind of makes sense. But if you are asked to draw it accurately, then you must pay attention to the size. Okay, next one. Area of triangle DFC. Where is DFC? DFC, okay, this area. To area ABCD, to the entire parallelogram is 3:10. Can visualize what's happening? 3:10. And then find the ratio of FC to BC. So this distance versus this distance. Okay. In both of these cases, what is you see, if you want to find the area of a triangle, right? What do you need for the area of a triangle? Base and perpendicular height. So for this particular triangle that I've shaded in red, what would you like to be for the base? What would you choose for the base for the triangle DFC? What will you choose to be the base? You have 3 options, right? You literally can choose any of them, but only one will be useful. FC. FC being the base. Okay, just give me a moment. If FC is the base, then where is your perpendicular height? Here's the trick question. If FC is your base, where is your perpendicular height for this triangle? DF? Who says DF? Raise your hand. DF? DF is wrong lah. Or rather, we can't confirm. They didn't say that DF is perpendicular, right? They didn't say that. But it really looks like, but they didn't confirm. So you cannot assume. What you have to do is to draw another line. Can be quite close, doesn't matter, but you make it 90 degrees. Okay, this is the clue for you. So try this question as your homework. Last time.